The stadium was full.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Saved it.
Yeah. Decisive penalty. I was like, score. We win.
Yeah.
Bro. Yeah, you know, back here, like at halftime, you're given like water, like energy drink. There are guys at halftime take hot coffee.
This podcast is proudly sponsored by Visionary Marketing.
Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of the Just to Kick It is a Blessing podcast with your host Keith Tupac Gatiramu. Thank you for coming to the podcast where we teach, motivate, and inspire through stories. Today is a very special episode. I have a very special guest in studio with me. So without further ado, I will let him introduce himself.
My name is Eugene Asike.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yule mwenyewe. Before
How are you, by the way?
I'm very good, bro. How have you been?
I've been good. It's been long.
Yes, it's been long. For those watching, me and Eugene went to the same high school.
Exactly.
That's why I met him, and you'll get to learn what I got to learn about him as we have this conversation. But before we even get to the conversation part of it, there's a new ritual we've started on this podcast where we ask the guest a random question. And today's random question is, do you like losing? And it's very weird that was the question, and considering what we're about to talk about.
Yes.
But do you like losing, and how does losing make you feel?
Nah, I don't like losing at all.
Yes?
Because nobody remembers number 2 in the world. Nobody remembers number 2.
Yeah.
So I always love winning. In anything I do, I always want to come out on top. So I never like losing.
Yeah, I think I'm the same. I think I'm very competitive, even when it comes to small games like cards or Animal Kingdom.
You always want to win.
I always want to win.
Winner's mentality.
I think it's also because growing up, I had Tiger Woods always say, number 2 just means you're the first to lose.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean anything. So
it doesn't mean anything. Nobody remembers number 2.
So I think from that day, I've always had that competitive spirit. But I've also come to learn that losing is part of life. It's how you react from that.
You react, how you take it.
Yeah.
It can motivate you to be better, or if you take it in a negative way, you can become worse. So it depends on how you take it. You can take it as a learning experience and push yourself to better things, or if you don't want to take it in a positive way, it might make you a worse person. So it depends on how you take it, how you've just said it.
Okay. You just introduced yourself, but tell us who you really are. Who's Eugene Asike? What does Eugene Asike do?
Like in a professional way, I do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm a professional footballer.
Yes.
I play in Sweden.
Wow.
Yes, for a team called Karlstad FC.
Karlstad FC.
Yeah.
Apart
from that,
yes, actually,
I've studied sports medicine, and I'm a certified trainer. Something I guess you didn't know. Yeah.
No. I actually thought that you stopped school at like after year 11.
No. After year 11, yes, I focused on football.
Yeah.
But also I had this passion of fitness and all that, so. I studied sports medicine at National Academy of Sports Medicine. Got certified, and it's something I do or part side. Like when I'm not playing football and I have my free time, that's what I do.
What does that entail?
Basically, it's just all about fitness and health.
Yeah.
Training guys. But mostly I work with athletes.
Yeah.
Because I think it's much easier for me.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to lock out any other person who might want to train with me. So it's just about fitness and health.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You've said you're a professional footballer.
Yeah.
So where did your journey start?
My journey started when I was... I started playing football when I was 6 years, just kicking about anything in the house that I'll come across. After that, I moved. I joined Impala Football Academy.
Yeah.
along Ngong Road. I was with Ayub Timbe, if you can.
Yeah.
Ayub Timbe, and we were like, how many? We were like 20 guys there. After that, I moved to City Stars.
City Stars.
Back then, I think it was World Up. At that time, I was still in school.
Yeah.
I remember I used to come after lunch or
Yeah.
something, and guys are like, where have you been?
Yeah.
How many? So I had to train, then come to school. Luckily, when I was in City Stars, I was called to the national team, under 20.
Yeah.
And the coach who was there at the under 20 at that time was a coach of KCB. So he told me, by the way, I want you to come to KCB. I need your services at KCB. So I moved from City Stars to KCB. At City Stars, I hadn't played any game. I think I only featured once for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was come here like.
Yeah.
So I moved to KCB, and that's when I can say my career really started. Like, I was professionally, because I played so many games. I made the captain of the under 20 national team.
Wow.
Moved to the under 23 national team. When I was in the under 23 national team, Sofa Paka came calling.
Yeah.
Moved to Sofa Paka. After Sofa Paka, I know it's a long.
Yeah, no.
journey,
That's crazy. Yeah.
So moved from went to Sofa Paka.
Yeah.
Won two cups there. I think it was the Go TV and another cup. I can't remember, but I did win the league in Sofa Paka. Then moved when I was in Sofa Paka, got a call up now to the senior national team. Got my caps there. After Sofa Paka, I had a good 3 seasons there. Now Tusker came in and were like, okay, now you need to move to the big boys club. Yeah. So made my move to Tusker. And I think at Tusker is when I really became really what's the word? I was able to now understand what real football is all about, because Tusker is all about winning.
Yeah.
Winning. So I won 3 league titles with them. I won Go TV Cup. That's like a cup, like FA Cup, like, for example. Was voted the best defender of the season. So yeah.
Well, we'll have to get to that actually.
Yeah. So that's why after that, after the 2021 season, I got a call from Sweden. They were interested in my services, and they felt like I can add something good to their squad. I listened to their project. They really wanted to get to the top league. So I said, why not?
Yeah.
It's a good challenge to go out there and try out there. Yeah.
Well, you've shared quite a lot of journey. I had questions that I thought about. Then I've forgotten some of them, but I think one of them I just want to ask you is, how were you balancing school and football to first start there?
To be honest, it wasn't easy at first.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy at all. But I had to stay grounded.
Yeah.
I had to be like, okay, if football doesn't work out for me,
yeah,
I need to fall back to this.
Yeah.
And it's very important, because we won't play this game forever. Yeah. At some point, my legs will give up on me and be like, no, enough is enough. So luckily I have something on the side that can keep me busy, Yeah, and still pay the bills.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
And during that whole journey that you've just shared, what do you think was that pivotal moment that you saw and you decided, yes, this is my thing, and I can now pursue it?
Pivotal moment, I think, is when I was called to the under 20 national team.
Yeah.
For me, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
Though it wasn't the senior national team at first, it was the under 20, but it felt like, okay, if I've been called to the under 20 national team, that means I'm good enough,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just decided to give it my all. But before then, even when I was still in the academies, I was like, I think this is my calling. I'm loving this. Yeah.
Yeah. You've talked about playing in Impala,
Yeah.
and you've talked about Ayub Timbe, who's also playing internationally
Yeah.
and plays for the national team.
Yeah.
What is there, first of all, before I even get to that, is there any other players from that Impala squad that have progressed in their football career?
Yeah, we have a player called Thiongo. He has been in Italy for the longest time. We have players who came from that academy and still played in the local league. Yeah, so we had good players then. Yeah.
What do you think made that special? Because you're saying there's a lot of players that came from that academy that progressed. What do you think was unique or special about that academy, or what do you think you learned there as individual players?
First of all, we were like a family.
Yeah.
Which is very important in any academy, in any team. The family, the aspect of you guys being as a family. And then also we had a good head coach.
Yeah.
He's called Eric Oma, somebody who I really, really respect. He taught me a lot when I was young. So we were like brothers then, and we used to motivate each other and just push each other to be the best version of ourselves. So yeah.
I actually thought that you had left school. So even when you were playing professionally in Tusker, KCB, you were still pursuing that?
Yeah, I was still studying. I got my certificate when I was at Tusker FC.
Wow. A lot of people say, and probably even young people listening to this podcast, they say, no, I don't want to do school. I just want to do football alone. But you've managed to do it. How? And, what advice can you give them?
For me, I can just tell the young generation, anybody who's listening out there who wants to focus on football and pursue football, it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. But also you need to have a plan B. You need to also have something you can fall back to if football doesn't work exactly, and find that thing that you love doing, and I also wanna say thanks to my parents. I think they were like, okay, do what you're gonna do. We're gonna support you.
Yeah.
And that's also important to parents out there. If your kid wanna play football, give him the support that he or she needs.
Yeah.
But also advise him that education is also key. Yeah.
And now that we're talking about young, upcoming, aspiring footballers, they say there's this stereotype that exists around them where because they're from middle, upper class families, they don't get the opportunity. And because also the coaches know the other players that they bring, there's that kind of favorism. Is it something you experienced, or is it something you've seen, and how do they get past that?
It's something that I experienced back when I was starting off my career. But what I came to understand and learn that is, if you got the talent, no one can take it from you. As long as you go out there and you prove it that you are good in this, nobody's gonna deny you that chance.
Yeah.
But most of us, like young kids, already go to that to step onto the field psychologically. They're not there. They'll be like, okay, they already see me like I don't belong. I'm not one of them, and that affects them mentally. But if you just walk onto that field, I'm like, I'm gonna give my best. I got this one chance, and I got the talent, and you believe in yourself. Nobody's gonna take that away from you. Everybody's gonna be like, okay, that kid got talent. You can see it in him. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think one of the things that you've mentioned from that I've seen or I've experienced, seen, is that you're right. They don't have that tough mentality.
Exactly. Yeah.
And for them listening, I think they need to build that tough mentality and to know that no matter how good you are, it won't come served to you.
Exactly. You have to earn it.
You have to earn it. You have to, fight for it.
You have to grow a tough skin because it's a cold world out there. It's tough. It's really tough. So I always say it's not like you chose to be in that position, in that position where you say the middle class. You didn't choose that. It just happened. Yeah. So step out of your comfort zone, give it a go, and be there, be on their faces. You know what I mean? And sooner rather than later, you just see it. Like people will be friendly to you, be like, okay, you're good enough. They want you to they'll pick you in their team on the small-sided games. That's what happens.
So the mentality, they need to
mentality is very important in any aspect of life. Like you have to have a great mentality in anything you do.
Playing in the various teams that you've shared, that you've played in, what were some of the challenges you faced, and how have that shaped you into the player that you are today?
The challenges I've faced at Sofa Paka, I can remember I was given the armband.
Captain.
Step out. I was like, I never thought I would be a captain. I never thought I had that those leadership skills in me. I never actually thought I would be like leading the team out, So it made me think outside the box. I was like, okay, now I need to lead the team. I need to show a good example to the rest. And it made me, I was disciplined then, but it made me more disciplined. Like, okay, you have to be like on time for training. You have to set the team right. You have to talk to players like that. Like you have to talk to the coach. So after it really shaped me, to be honest. Then when I moved to Tusker, once again I was given the captain armband. So it was good. And what can I say? Like the highlight of my career? Oh, we are getting to that.
We'll get to your highlight of your career.
Okay, no problem.
Wow, that's being a captain is hard, because I remember we had, I think it's probably the same coach Eric that you're talking about. He had an academy here in Lavington called Juve. And we used to play in this Kibra league, and I was the captain. And I remember I had a fallout with him because I wasn't disciplined. And I was such a bad example. So
no, that's okay. I can say, okay, there are captains who really outside the field are not disciplined, but they really do their job on the field. That's why it depends.
No, but I think, to be a leader, you have to be a leader in all aspects of your life, because that's when people really listen to you and follow you. Like you.
They look up to you.
Because I've seen also how hard you train. It forces someone to be like, hey, if this guy is training,
you need to
like playing in Kibra League was tough, because those kids are tough. I think I probably got in our team, I got probably the most yellows and reds, because I also had a very short temper. So sometimes you're
Sergio Ramos.
Sometimes you're marking a guy, you're trying to hold his shot like this. Actually, let me just even tell you the story. I remember there's a day we went to play a game in Rongai. And I was marking this guy, and I was holding him at the back of his shirt. And he told me, "Oh, kijana niwache." I said, "No, kijana niwache." The third time he turned around and punched me straight in my nose. I was bleeding.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, what is actually...
But you have to go through.
No. I realized it's tough.
And I think that's when I elbows on your face.
I think that's when I realized football wasn't for me.
You chickened out.
I chickened out. I said, I don't like pain. And I was like, no. But how was it? How's it being a captain of those two teams? And how was it? Did you ever win a league as a captain?
Yeah. That's now probably before moving to Sweden. I think that was my big highlights so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one? Like
Leading
which
Tusker,
one meant? Yeah,
leading
one
Tusker
yeah.
To winning the title.
Mm-hmm.
And then the same season,
Yeah.
being awarded the best defender of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was big for me. And I can remember the same season we had a friendly match. The national team was called. Then I was called up to the national team, and we had a friendly match. Guess against which team?
Which team?
Tusker FC. I just an indoor friendly match.
Yeah.
And I was given the armband to lead the national team, guys.
Wait, so they made you stick Tusker?
Yeah, like, and now I'm captaining the national team against Tusker. So I was like, okay, this is big. It's big.
Yeah. But if you're to put it in, if you're to put your words, your feelings in words, how does that feel? Like, if you're to explain it to us, because
I think you just have to live it.
You just have to live it.
You can't put it in words. You can't put it in words.
Like surreal.
Yeah, exactly. That's the word, surreal. You can't put it in words. You just have to be there, feel that moment. Yeah.
And when the season started, did you ever think you were gonna win that season? Or at what point were you like, God damn, this is actually possible?
No, with I know when I was joining Tusker, they've been winning title.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like joining Real Madrid.
Yeah.
For sure, one way or the other, we're gonna win the league no matter what. Yeah. So joining Tusker, I already knew what I was getting myself into, and I needed that step up in my career. I needed that new challenge of, okay, the demands are higher, the pressure is high of winning. For them, they don't take a draw. There are teams that might go out and be like, oh guys, let's get this 1 point, and then we focus on the next. No, for them it's every game you have to win. Be it a friendly match.
Yeah.
Every game you have to win.
And how's it in like the locker room with those type of guys? How's it going into a match?
Luckily at Tusker, I had a really good squad of like players.
Yeah.
The players who have already even won the title.
Mm-hmm.
So it was easy for us to integrate and just win the title. It wasn't an easy season. We were pushed to the wire. I think we won it in the last game, not last game, the last 2 games before the season ended. So it was tough because other teams were also competitive.
Yeah, I'm trying to imagine as a center back how tough your role must be.
Yeah, to be honest, it's not easy. You get good strikers. You have to face them. Yeah. And sometimes you can be given a responsibility whereby the coach comes and tell you, today, Eugene, I want you to mark this guy for 90 minutes. Don't let him shoot. Don't let him have a sight of the goal.
Yeah.
Be tight on him.
Yeah.
So you have that extra, again, pressure that you are being given by the coach. Not only for you to play well, but also to make sure this guy doesn't perform on that day. So you can imagine.
In the before even we get to your international career and your national career, who's the hardest striker you played versus in Kenya?
I can say I came up against...
or maybe you can give top 3, maybe
2. Yeah, let me give you like three players.
3 guys, yeah.
I'll start off by Olunga.
Yeah.
Technically very good.
He disturbed you?
Strong, yeah.
Yeah.
Every time we meet, when he was at Gor Mahia and was at Tusker, I knew today is going to be a tough day in office, yeah.
Yeah, today's a tough day in the office.
Yeah. Alan Wanga. Yeah, he retired.
Yeah.
And then, if you can remember, there was this striker called, Jesse Were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even him.
Jesse Were, really, really good, fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he has that, like, he knows where the goal is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, if you slip up, if you blink, he's gone. So I can say Michael Olunga, Jesse Were, and Alan Wanga gave me a good race for my money. Every time when I came up against them,
you knew today was one.
Yeah. So when I moved to Tusker and I joined Jesewere in that he was at Tusker, I was like,
thank God. At least you've removed one.
at least. yeah.
Wow. And now to being called up for the squad. How's that been? Playing
for the national team.
For the national team, because the national team, I'm guessing, is the 23 best Kenyans in the world.
Exactly. But, before that, there's this provisional squad. 30 people are called in.
Yeah.
You can imagine 30 guys coming. So after probably a week, the list is
cut.
Yeah, to probably 23. 24.
Yeah.
Another week, the final 18. So imagine going through all those stages till you make it to the last 18.
Yeah.
It's a massive thing.
That's crazy. I didn't even know it goes like that.
Yeah, it goes like that. So every session, every training session, you have to be on it. Okay, because everybody is good there. Everybody is called to the national team. They're good.
Yeah.
But what separates you from the rest is what you do in your training session. So you have to be on it. You have to perform. It's like a camp. That's why it's called a camp.
Oh, train. Hey, see, you're learning. Yes.
Yeah. That's why it's called a camp. So after a week, some players are dropped off. Another week, some players are dropped off. So for me, I made my debut against South Africa.
Okay.
At Nyayo Stadium. I can remember that game. I didn't know I was gonna start. Because before the game, like a day before, you can sense the first 11. You can see it in training session. So me, I was in the second team.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm still just being content in being in the bench or something because it's my first time. Okay. Made it to the 18. I was like, okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I'm just chilling there. Match day comes. We were called normally pre-match routine. You have your meal 3 hours before the game. After the meal, you go for a walk. Then the coach, before you go for a walk, the coach names the squad. So this coach comes in the national team. Unfortunately, passed away. He was called Michel. His soul rest in peace. So he came in and he never mentioned Tupac, you're gonna start. No, he had already written the squad on a paper, right? So he just flipped it like this. So me, I was chilling
Yeah.
I see Asike. I'm like, okay. Not on the bench. I'm starting.
Yeah.
So I got goosebumps because this was my
first time.
Yeah, my first time. I'm gonna make my debut. So many emotions were running through me. I was like, okay, it's actually happening. It's actually happening. So he called me aside and I was like, okay, I saw you in the last training session yesterday. You looked sharp. You looked ready. So I'm gonna give you this chance.
Yeah.
And I started off as a right fullback in my debut. I didn't play as a centre back. Okay, at that time, if you can remember, Sifiwe Shabalala was on fire.
Yeah.
They had Kune, they
Yeah.
had Shabalala, they had some midfielder, Letono Nyane. I can remember the whole squad.
Yeah.
Kumalo,
Yeah.
somebody who I really looked up to was a centre back at that time. It was called Kumalo.
Yeah.
The game was at 7:00.
Yeah.
Nyayo Stadium. How many hours to kick off? Probably 6. I'm just chilling in the room. I'm like, okay, it's actually happening.
Yeah.
And I used to watch these Soweto derbies like Orlando Pirates and Kaiser.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, this guy is really. Now I'm gonna mark him.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. So I was really excited at the same time nervous, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it all went well. I played well. My debut. First half I started as a fullback. In the second half I moved in as a centre back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Sifiwe Shabalala.
He disturbed you?
The first 20 minutes I was trying to figure him out. That guy is good. The guy was good, yeah. So I made my debut against South Africa. After that, I got some cups. I played against Tanzania. Played against Rwanda, Burundi, Mali, such teams. Yeah.
What we normally see that you, as Kenya, we have a group of such talented people.
Yeah.
But what really happens when it comes to the bigs? Individually, I think you're very talented. But what happens when it comes to the team?
At the big stage.
Yeah, because I think I think there's a game that the current president had paid for everyone to go watch. Was it versus Egypt?
No, we played, it was actually free. There was no charges against Ethiopia.
Yes.
At Kasarang, the stadium was full. Yeah.
I remember that's the first day I could have tear gas by then. I kept on asking myself, who the hell has brought firecrackers to the stadium? And then later on, I just realized, wow, it's actually tear gas. But
I think what happens...
that game you guys, I think you won.
Yeah. That what made us qualify for the AFCON.
Yeah.
What I can say, what really happens in our national team is like there's a lot of changes. Yeah, if you look at the best squads worldwide, the coach is given time. The squad, if there is changes, 2 or 3 changes, but there's the core of the national team, like the players who have been there. But for our national team, 1 week before the national team is called, you see different faces. The other call up, different faces. There's no progression. There's no progression, and also out here the fans are not patient. They want results. So that puts also extra pressure on the national team.
So there's like a bit of that lack of chemistry.
Exactly. There need to be some consistency.
Yeah.
Okay.
In terms of you representing the country, who do you think is, other than Shabalala, of course, who did you find was a worthy opponent?
A worthy opponent. There's a game we played against Tanzania.
Yeah.
At that time, I think Samata just moved. Bona Samata just moved to Belgium.
Yeah.
Before he moved to Aston Villa. Yeah. So we went to Tanzania, and the papers were like Samata, like. You Kenyans, you're gonna know the real Samata and all that.
Yeah.
So there was Samata and Ulimwengu. Both of them, I think, were gave me a good game that day. I've played some games. In Rwanda as well. We played. I played against. Against Burundi. And funny enough, the striker I was marking. We were together at Sofa Paka. It's called Fiston. But then he moved to South Africa. Yeah. So we met that day. Yeah. And even in training before, he really, really was giving me a tough time. Yeah. So we met in Burundi when he was playing for the national team. Also, that was a good game. Yeah, so there are a couple of guys who have
given you a run for money.
Yeah.
So now to where
also
you
against
are.
Uganda. Sorry. Recently,
now to where you are, Sweden. How did you get their attention? Or what happened?
I can say through my agent. He's the father to John Guidetti. If you know John Guidetti.
Yeah, I know John Guidetti.
Yeah. He played for Man City, moved to Celtic. Now he's back in Sweden. Yeah. So we have been. For the longest time, he has been my agent. His father, not John. Yeah. His father is called Mike Guidetti. Yeah. And we have been in good terms, keeping in touch. So there's this opportunity that came knocking, and he called me over, and we're like, okay, there's a club who are looking for center back. I showed them your video highlights and everything. They're interested in your services. They think you make the team stronger and all that. So I was like, okay, yeah. And I also want to say thank you to Tusker FC. At that time, I had like 6 months or 4 months remaining on my contract. I just went up and told them this is a chance that I don't think comes twice in your life. And I want this challenge. It's a great opportunity for me to go out there and test myself. So they talked to the club. It was a good transition, and I moved to Sweden.
Wow.
Yeah.
How's your first game in Sweden?
To be honest, I came in the second half.
Yeah.
The coach had told me, okay, because I just trained with them for like 4 days, and they had an important game over the weekend. It was like a derby for them.
Yeah.
So he told me, I want you first to look at this game in the first half, study what the opponents are doing, study how I want to play, study how my defenders are playing. Then come in the second half. I want you to do the same.
Yeah.
So I was excited, to be honest. I was like, okay, finally, because this has always been my dream, just to play in Europe, to play in a foreign country.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm just looking at the time. Why is this coach not telling me to go warm up, man?
Yeah.
So after the first half, he told me, stay outside and warm. When he went to the changing room to have his halftime talk, he told me, stay out and get ready. You're coming in straight.
Yeah.
Bro, I got in. Yeah. You know, I'm used to our game here, which is it's physical. Yes, back here it's really physical. But there, I had to adjust to their tempo. The game is fast, like how the ball moves. Yeah, and also the grounds there are different from our grounds. There it's more smooth, exactly. So the ball travels fast, and with a bad first touch, they're on you.
But
the
first touch has to be good.
Yeah. So the first 10 minutes, I struggled a bit. But luckily I adjusted. I adjusted really quick, because I was like, okay, it's my debut. I also need to give a good performance. Luckily we drew that game. We didn't lose, so it wasn't a bad debut for me.
Wow. And how's it been? How's it adjusting to now playing in Sweden? You've been there for a season now?
For a year now.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. So adjusting, they're into tactically. They're very serious on that. They really focus on tactics and all that, how the team moves, how we're gonna counter this. They're very keen. So if you don't do your job, the coach can get you out in the first even 15 minutes. Because one wrong move disables like the whole formation, the whole So I learned that also. They're into details, a lot of details, how you pass the ball, how you move, how you communicate. And also, luckily, there are players who understood English there.
That's my next question, actually.
And Swedish people also speak English. It's not their language, but they're taught that. So it wasn't really hard for me to also adjust. There was not that language barrier stuff affecting me,
Well, what's been probably like your highest or your greatest moment now that you moved to Sweden?
When I scored, of course. I have one goal. I scored. It was a game where we were down 2-0 in the first half. So come second half, the coach was like, guys, I'm giving you only 20 minutes. If not, I'm starting to get guys off. I'm bringing, get your stuff together. You know what I mean? So I scored the beginning of the second half in the 60th minute. I scored. So it was 2-1, which gave the team that energy, and we came back into the game and we won the game 4-2.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's definitely.
I was buzzing, to be honest. I was buzzing after the game. Oh man, it was a good feeling. Yeah.
Is it the one that I think
And
on
it
your
was a
Instagram
header.
you're there dancing with your guy? He's a Nigerian guy.
Yeah, that's another guy. Is a crazy guy. But it was after the game. That was the week after the game. Yeah. So I was still buzzing. You can see that. I was happy, man.
No.
Yeah.
To win on those stages must be crazy, especially a game that you thought you had lost.
Yeah. And it was cold.
But how's it actually playing in those temperatures?
Cold.
Yeah?
It was cold.
It's cold, huh?
Yeah. Back here, like at halftime, you're given like water, like energy drink. There are guys at halftime take hot coffee because of how cold
it is. Yeah.
Before the match, there's this like lotion you can apply on yourself.
Yeah.
It makes the muscle heat up quickly.
Yeah.
So me, I was just chilling like, what's this kind of weather? I'm from Africa. I'm tough.
Yeah.
So I went out for warm up.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing the white guys wearing gloves. You know, I'm like, like, you know, you have that African mentality. Me, I'm a tough guy. I went for warming up for the warm up session, bro. I couldn't move. My toes were like numb.
Yeah. It was like what? It was minus something.
Yeah, and then the white guys that are laughing at me, like, I was like, what time am I gonna get back to the changing room?
Yeah.
So I go back to the changing room, got my gloves on.
Yeah.
Got my jacket on. It was my Under Armour on.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So the weather there took me a while to adjust to it, but now I'm good with it now.
And in Sweden, what are some of the challenges you've maybe faced as a professional footballer?
Challenges is, especially as a foreign player, you just need to be at your best.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to be at your best because you're coming from another country. You're coming from Africa, and they have this mentality that African players are tough. African players will work their socks off. So there's a time I was injured, and they couldn't believe it. I'm like, I'm also a human being. What do you mean? Like, no, how can you be injured? I'm like, I'm injured. So I was out for 2 weeks, and they were worried. They're like, no.
They said something is going wrong.
Yeah, I twisted my ankle, and me, I thought it was just gonna be a 1 week thing, but it took me like 2 weeks. So they're like, no, they strapped me up. So there's some games I played when my ankle was strapped, but it's all right.
Yeah,
they know. They were like, okay, you're not like they like. You just have to have that mentality because you're coming all the way from Kenya. You're going to a different country. You're going to fight for a position with guys from there.
Yeah.
Okay, some may have an advantage over you because they're from that country. So again, you have to have an edge over them, and that means performing. You know, don't give the coach a reason to put you out. So you can imagine the pressure.
Along this amazing journey of yours that I've had, is there a point you thought about giving up?
In anything, you have to have your ups and downs. Yeah. Back at City Stars, before I just made my move to KCB, I had already gotten that information that they didn't need my going into the next season. They don't need my services.
Yeah. So
I was like, really? And I was young, to be honest. I was young. I was like, okay. Is this gonna happen? Am I meant to do this?
Yeah.
But I look back and I was like, okay, why did I start?
Yeah.
You know, you always have to tell yourself, okay, why did I start? When that feeling comes in where you feel like, okay, I wanna give up, you always have to tell yourself, why did I start all this?
Yeah.
You know? You just have to stay positive. You'll have ups and downs. Even having an injury that keeps you out for one season, it's really a big blow for a professional footballer. Yeah. But luckily, I've never had a serious injury. Thank God. Yeah, I've never had a really serious injury. But in anything you do, you'll have your ups and downs. You just have to pick up yourself and get moving again. Every time you have to, even losing a game.
It's not the best thing, actually.
Yeah, losing a cup match. Because I can remember there's a game we're playing against Gor Mahia. Against Gor Mahia, it was a cup match, the top 8 something. Top 8, if I can remember, yeah. I lost a penalty, bro.
Oh, you missed a penalty? Wow. How did that feel?
You can imagine. And the stadium was full.
Yeah.
Yeah. At that time, the goalkeeper was called, I think, Mampundo or something.
Yeah. He saved it.
Yeah. Decisive penalty. I was like, score. We win.
Yeah.
Bro, keeper just punched it, man.
And, well,
So
I think now we can laugh about it, but I can't imagine how you must have felt.
I've had crazy moments.
Yeah.
I've even ever scored an own goal. Against Gor Mahia.
Yeah.
Bro, I scored an own goal.
Yeah.
And that game, Gor Mahia wins the game, they win the title.
Wow.
In the first, I think it was in the 15th minute or 20th.
Yeah.
I scored an own goal. A crazy one. Crazy. I was like, okay, how will I cope up with the next 70 minutes of this game?
Yeah.
So if you don't have a tough mentality, if you don't have that character, you don't have a strong mentality.
Yeah.
Bro, that's where the cookie crumbles. You just go down. Yeah. So it's part of, in anything, even those guys who are out there have been successful.
Yeah.
Failing is part of it. You have to go through that. Grow a tough skin. Okay. And that's how you get experience.
Yeah.
There's a time you'll be in that situation, you'll be like, okay, back then I was in this situation, this is how I handled it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can tell guys out there, never be afraid of failure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now that you've told us, sometimes I think we watch on TV and we think a penalty is so easy to score. What's the kind of pressure taking a decisive penalty?
Bro,
Yeah.
it's hard. In training session, there's no pressure.
There's no pressure.
Yeah. There's
Top
no
corner.
pressure. You'll score.
Yeah.
But when it matters most,
It's real.
yeah, the odds against, like, when it matters most, like, score this, we win.
Yeah.
All eyes on you. If you don't have the nerves, if you don't have the courage, you won't take it.
And it must be crazy because there's maybe 40,000 people shouting.
Exactly. And then making that walk from the center field
Yeah.
to the penalty spot. Bro.
Yeah.
Your knees can give up on you, bro. You just feel like, no.
No.
Then when you see the ball hit the net, you're like,
Yeah.
So I really, really, really respect guys who go out to take penalties.
Really?
I don't take penalties.
Yeah.
I never take penalties.
Why? After that day?
Yeah,
It's
because
something you
I was
fear.
almost the 6th, 7th person.
Yeah.
I was like, no, you go. So it got to a time, it's
you.
It just has to be you.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, let me go.
Yeah.
I choose my spot.
Yeah.
Took the penalty out, but the keeper saved it. So going back to the channel, you guys are like, hard luck, but you can see they're giving you the side eye, like.
They know the truth. Huh?
Yeah. So even
crazy.
the coach was like, the following week in training, please, we never want to see you taking a penalty. So till today, like, not that I don't have the courage, but it's not something I like doing. I don't like. I even watching a game as a neutral fan.
Yeah.
I never like watching penalties.
Or you know the power that penalties have.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I get nervous even watching somebody take a penalty. Yeah.
Wow. So Kumbi, as we've been thinking this time, a penalty is an easy thing.
No,
That thing
it's
is
not
hard.
easy. It's not easy. You
It's
can have trained, but
It's hard.
sometimes on that day when the team needs it the most, nerves can take control of you and you can just feel like, okay, you're not confident.
So even people who are saying Ronaldo only scores penalties, it's still a hard thing to do. Yeah.
Bro, it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not, even when people say, this striker is just full of tap-ins.
Yeah.
Go try tap-in and we'll see. It's not easy. It's not easy. Not at all. Yeah.
And you, I see you do a lot of exercise training. I've seen your training is too hard. Sometimes I even wonder, Kwani, this guy is going to war or what? Yeah, but other than that, we see how you stay physically fit. But other than that, how do you stay mentally fit? Because like you said, it's a tough sport. I think anyone who pursues sports as a career must be mentally fit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how do you stay mentally fit?
How do I stay mentally fit?
Yeah.
I have my days where I just shut down.
Yeah.
I just put football aside.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of good music. I'm a fan of good food. So I do something totally opposite from football. Totally opposite. So if it's to go out with my friends, we go out. If it's to go for a road trip, we go for a road trip. If it's to go out and listen to some live band, I do that. And also reading keeps me like calm. Yeah. And it's important.
Yeah.
For any player out there, you need that. You need to get something that relaxes you.
Now that we've actually talked about that, are there days that you've had to step onto the field and you're not 100% there?
Yeah.
And what do you do on those kind of days?
The days I just feel off, Not only on match days, sometimes even in my training session, you just feel like, okay. Because for me, my day starts off at 6:30.
Wow.
6:30, I'm up.
Every day?
Yeah, I go in for a session, my gym session, before I join the rest of the squad. So there are days where you feel like, let me just stay in bed and just sleep. But again, you be like, okay, if I sleep in, there's Tupac somewhere out there working harder than me, And also, as much as people say you have to have luck, right? But also luck comes for those guys who work hard, You can't just be in the house and then luck comes calling and be like, okay, here's this opportunity. So for definitely there are days where I feel off.
Yeah.
And I always tell myself, okay, I look back at those things that I've achieved. And that gets me excited. I'm like, I want to feel this feeling again. I want to be told I'm the best defender of the season. I want to lift this title again. I want to achieve great things, because I always, before the season starts, I always have a target for myself. I always want to play this number of matches.
Yes.
I want to have this number of goals or clean sheets.
Yes.
So I look at it, I'm like, okay, I won't achieve this if I stay
in bed.
So that motivates me to keep on going, to keep on. You have to have demand more from yourself. As a player, you have to demand more out of yourself. You have to have that in you. It doesn't have to come from the coach or your parents or your teammates. You need to demand more from yourself. Today I achieved this, tomorrow we go again.
Yeah.
I push harder to achieve more. That's what keeps me going.
And the goals that you wrote,
the
goals that you wrote on that thing as you went to now Sweden, were you able to achieve them?
Yeah, going to Europe was one of the goals.
Yeah.
Playing the national team was one of the goals.
Yeah.
Being the best defender of the season was one of the goals. Winning the title, captaining the side to winning the league was one of the goals.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I rest.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I decide to rest and decide, okay, now I've achieved all that I've achieved, you can never be satisfied as a player. Even the rich guys out there, the billionaires still go out to look for money. You get my point?
That's true. Yeah.
They still go out to look for money. If Cristiano had be satisfied with all that he achieved, or Messi, or the best players out there.
Yeah.
So you need to always demand more, always set another target for yourself. Even no matter how small the target is, it doesn't have to be a big deal, a big target like from Kenya and to go straight into Manchester United's first 11.
Yeah.
The goals need to be realistic. They need to be smart. They need to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely as well.
Yeah.
So all these things you have to put into consideration. Yeah. So even if it's just tomorrow, and as a midfielder, tomorrow I want to make 2 more assists. The small details, the small goals that will bring about the big goal.
The bigger picture.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, this season, what position did you guys finish?
We finished 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can remember we were 3 points or 4 points away from the playoff position.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't a good feeling, but we did well.
Yeah.
But the team wanted to get promoted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you've shared that.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what we are looking for come the next season, to make sure the team gets promoted. That's the hunger.
Yeah.
I always tell also people who I come across, the young boys, you have to have that hunger in you, hunger to achieve, hunger to be great.
Yeah.
You know, that it will definitely give you that drive. Yeah.
Mm. As we wrap this podcast, I just wanted to ask you, what's your way of life, or what's your philosophy of life, or what's your thinking of your life that you believe that has brought you this far? So someone out there maybe can learn a thing or two and can excel them to greater heights, whether it's in football, music, business, whatever it is.
First of all, I would say discipline.
Yeah. Actually, you're very disciplined. That I can attest to.
Yeah, discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Have a routine.
Yeah.
Have a routine.
Mm-hmm.
I can say for me, I do have a routine. As I've just mentioned, 6:30 I'm up, 10 I'm in bed, 10:30 latest. Have a routine whereby on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, this is what I do.
Yeah.
No matter what, if Tupac gives me a call and I know tomorrow I have to be up by this time to put in the work, don't do it, because you have a routine.
Yes.
Like Tupac might call me, bro, let's go go for drinks.
Yeah.
Let's you know.
Yeah.
And easily we get confused, or we don't stick to our routine.
Yeah.
But you have to have that discipline of, this is my routine, I'm gonna follow it till the end. And also be humble, you know, be humble and never burn bridges.
Never burn bridges.
Never burn bridges, bro. Never burn bridges. That's my philosophy. Be humble.
Yes.
Whoever you come across, show some respect, be
Yeah.
disciplined. You never know who you're meeting. You never know who will get you over to the next stage of your career. It might be just somebody you met in the supermarket. You never know.
That's true.
Probably might be an agent. Maybe you had a connection to an agent or something. So be disciplined, be humble, have a routine for yourself, set your goals, and also believe in God. I'm a religious guy, religious guy.
Wow. We love to see that.
Yeah. So that's my philosophy. Discipline. And hard work.
Well, I don't know if there's anything I've missed to ask you, or if there's anything that you've wanted to say, or you know.
I think we have covered everything. All parting shot. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Parting shot. For any young guy who's out there, all that I can say is that never give up.
Never give up.
Never give up, because we young footballers or athletes, we want success to happen overnight.
Yeah.
That's where we go wrong, and we get frustrated when we feel like, okay, it's been a year, I haven't moved from under 14 to under 16.
Yeah.
The coach hasn't chosen me to move up, or by this time I wanted to be playing in the national team, or it doesn't happen like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. That's why we get caught out. Like, people always want to achieve things quick, and it takes time. It's like a ladder, small steps. So for me, with experience, I came to realize that all these things that I have achieved took time, and within that time there are failures as well. Yeah, success doesn't come overnight. So be patient. As long as you know you're doing the right thing, your time will always come. Players also get frustrated when the coach doesn't start them in the in the squad and in the club and all that. So they get frustrated, then they drop their performances in training.
Yeah.
And when that time comes, when somebody gets injured and you need to step in, you're not ready.
Yeah.
Because mentally you already gave up. So never give up.
Yeah.
Stay patient, continue working, and believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody will ever believe in you. That's what I always tell people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Eugene, thank you so much for gracing our podcast.
Oh, it's always
Thank
a pleasure,
you
bro.
so much for coming to share with us your story. There's so
You're
much
welcome.
we've learned.
You're welcome.
I'm sure it's going to teach a few people out there. It's going to motivate. It's going to inspire a few people out there.
Yeah.
And we wish you all the best with your career going forward.
Thank you.
We wish you more trophies. We wish you more caps.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, and we hope you tell the other people that the Harambee Stars we're looking for an AFCON or something good soon.
It's gonna happen for us.
Yeah?
We just need to put our house in order.
Yes,
That's what I can say. Then everything's gonna happen.
Yeah,
It's not gonna be easy.
Yeah,
But it's something with the crop of players, with the talent we have in Kenya.
yeah.
Definitely,
It's coming soon.
Yeah, we have. If we played it, if we qualified for it, why not do it again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So, and I also want to see you next time on the field. Invite me for when you're playing. Don't just be interviewing guys. Yeah, we want to see you.
no. Actually, we actually play on Tuesdays.
Tuesday?
Yeah,
Oh, you mean
tough. Yeah.
And the Sunday leagues where you play 10 minutes, you come out, you
Nah.
take a beer and then come back.
Nah. There's no Sunday leagues, but we actually play tough.
Okay.
I'll invite you one of these days, or you invite me. I still have the touch.
No,
though.
you said you're scared of pain.
No. I'm a two-touch player. You're in
Two-touch.
touch with me, yeah. You know.
By the way, which team do you support?
Actually, I don't watch football like that, but I support Manchester United.
Okay, so me and you can have a sit down, because I'm also a big fan of Manchester United.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah, it's been a pleasure having me. Thank you so much.
thank you so much. For those of you tuning from home, thank you so much for tuning to another episode of the Just a Kick It Is a Blessing podcast. I know and I'm sure for those that have reached this far, you have enjoyed this episode as much as I have enjoyed recording it for you. Thank you and see you next week. Goodbye.